Top 10 easiest countries for single people to relocate to. Safe, affordable, and full of opportunity. Some people spend their entire lives waiting for the right time to start over. But the truth is, the right time never sends you a calendar invite. It's already here. The world is filled with places quietly rolling out the welcome mat, while most people are still stuck paying rent they can't afford in cities they don't even like. Let's be honest, starting fresh somewhere new sounds like a fantasy reserved for influencers and lottery winners. But what if it wasn't? What if there were countries where moving abroad wasn't a red tape nightmare or a bank-draining dream, but a genuine opportunity? Especially for single people who crave freedom, connection, and a new way of living. We're talking about destinations that combine affordability, safety, and real community. Places where your monthly budget stretches further, your weekends feel fuller, and your passport suddenly feels like a golden key instead of a locked door. These are not the overhyped expat magnets you see on every travel blog. These are the smart, overlooked countries quietly changing what home can mean. Welcome to Mr. Globe TV, where we explore how smart choices and bold moves can redefine your lifestyle. If you're ready to discover your next life chapter, hit like, subscribe, and stay till the end. Because one of these places might just be the new beginning you've been waiting for. Number 10. Portugal. Portugal isn't just Europe's best-kept secret anymore. It's the quiet achiever that everyone suddenly wants to be friends with. For single people looking to relocate, it strikes that rare balance between charm, affordability, and I can actually see myself living here. You get the kind of Mediterranean lifestyle most people daydream about, minus the impossible price tags of France or Italy. Lisbon and Porto might get the headlines, but the real magic lies in the smaller towns, places like Coimbra, Braga, or Tavira, where rent doesn't eat your soul and locals actually smile back when you greet them. A one-bedroom apartment in a walkable area can still cost under $800, and groceries and dining out feel refreshingly pre-inflation. The best part? Portugal's D7 visa is one of the easiest residency paths in Europe. You don't need to be rich, just show steady income from work or savings, and you're in. Safety is another big draw. Portugal consistently ranks among the top 5 safest countries in the world, with crime rates low enough to make even the most cautious traveler relax. For singles, that matters, whether you're out for a late-night stroll or making new friends over pastel de nata and vinho verde. And speaking of people, the Portuguese are famously kind and welcoming. There's no cold shoulder for outsiders here, just a warm bom dia. And maybe a nudge to try surfing. The lifestyle pace? Let's call it strategically slow. People take lunch breaks seriously, sunsets even more so, and bureaucracy, well, that's the only thing that moves at a snail's pace. But honestly, it's part of the charm. You learn to breathe, live, and let go of the need to rush. And here's the underrated bonus. English is widely spoken. Healthcare is top tier, and once you've been there 5 years, you can apply for citizenship in one of the most passport-friendly nations on the planet. For singles seeking freedom, affordability, and that elusive fresh start energy, Portugal makes it almost too easy. You'll show up for the beaches and low cost of living, but you'll stay for the peace, the people, and the pastries. Portugal, where your rent goes down, your stress melts away, and your Tinder matches might just be bilingual. Number 9. Mexico. For single people looking to reinvent their lives without reinventing their bank accounts, Mexico is a frontrunner that keeps proving why it's one of the easiest and smartest places to relocate to. It's close enough to the US to visit home without a time zone hangover, yet far enough to feel like you've traded chaos for color, calm, and community. Mexico isn't one-dimensional. It's a whole lifestyle buffet. You've got coastal towns like Puerto Vallarta and Playa del Carmen, where life moves to the rhythm of ocean waves, and everyone knows at least one expat who came for 6 months and never left. Then there's San Miguel de Allende, a UNESCO World Heritage City where cobblestone streets meet art galleries, rooftop cafes, and an English-speaking community that's surprisingly tight-knit. Affordability is where Mexico shines brightest. Rent in most mid-sized cities can run between $400 and $800 for a nice one-bedroom. And fresh food is so cheap and flavorful, you'll forget what a microwave is. Eating tacos on the street isn't budget dining. it's a cultural experience. And when it comes to getting in, Mexico's residency process is refreshingly straightforward. You can apply for a temporary or permanent visa based on income or savings, and it's one of the least bureaucratic paths in Latin America. Safety, of course, depends on location. But let's be honest, that's true everywhere. Most expats live in calm, community-driven areas where neighbors look out for one another. And here's a fun fact. Mexico has one of the fastest-growing digital nomad populations in the world. Remote workers love the stable internet, affordable healthcare, and, let's not forget, the climate that makes winter basically optional. The people are the heart of it all. Mexicans are famously warm, welcoming, and full of humor. Walk into a cafe twice and you're a regular. Stick around long enough and you'll have an invite to someone's family dinner or a beach bonfire. And for single people, the social life writes itself. From salsa nights to outdoor markets to expat meetups, connections come easily here, in both languages. Mexico gives you freedom without the fine print. Low cost of living, simple residency, and a culture that's more about living than surviving. Number 8. Thailand. Thailand has perfected the art of making life feel like a permanent vacation, and not just for backpackers or influencers posing with coconuts. For single people looking to relocate somewhere affordable, safe, and full of energy, Thailand hits the trifecta. It's where your rent feels like a rounding error. Your daily meals come from street vendors who cook better than five-star chefs, and your weekend plans can range from temple hopping to island hopping, both equally affordable. Bangkok, the country's vibrant capital, is a modern-day paradox, fast-paced yet surprisingly livable. You've got rooftop bars, co-working spaces, and a metro system that actually works. Then there's Chiang Mai, Thailand's northern gem, beloved by digital nomads and solo expats for its mix of tradition, tranquility, and fiber-optic Wi-Fi. And if beach life is calling, spots like Phuket, Krabi, and Koh Samui offer the kind of turquoise water, hammock-swinging reality most people reserve for their desktop wallpaper. Let's talk numbers, because Thailand's affordability is legendary for a reason. You can rent a comfortable apartment for $400 to $600 a month, eat out daily for less than $10, and get a massage for about the same price as a latte back home. It's one of the few places where you can live well on a modest income without feeling like you're constantly budgeting your happiness. The visa options are equally welcoming. From long-stay visas for retirees and remote workers to the Thai Elite program for those seeking something more flexible, the country makes it easy to stay. Sometimes a little too easy. And when you factor in Thailand's excellent healthcare, ranked among the best in Asia, friendly locals, and deep-rooted respect for foreigners, it's no surprise so many singles end up calling it home. Culturally, Thailand is warm in more ways than one. The locals are famously kind, and there's a sense of balance here between spirituality and nightlife, tradition and modernity, peace and play. It's not uncommon to spend your morning meditating in a mountain temple and your evening dancing barefoot at a beach bar. For single people craving freedom, affordability, and maybe a little adventure, Thailand isn't just a destination. It's a reset button. Number 7. Spain. Spain is that rare country where the concept of work-life balance actually means something, mostly because they take the life part very seriously. For single people looking to relocate somewhere affordable, beautiful, and bursting with culture, Spain isn't just easy, it's dangerously comfortable. You arrive thinking you'll stay a few months, and suddenly find yourself fluent in tapas menus and afternoon siestas. The country's charm starts with its rhythm. Spaniards don't rush, ever. Lunch lasts 2 hours, coffee breaks are practically social events, and dinner starts when most Americans are already in bed. But that slower pace isn't laziness, it's a lifestyle choice. You live longer when you're not perpetually stuck in traffic or microwaving dinner at 9 p.m. From a practical standpoint, Spain makes relocation surprisingly straightforward. The non-lucrative visa allows non-EU citizens to live in Spain if they have proof of sufficient income, and it's one of Europe's most accessible residency programs. For remote workers, the new digital nomad visa opens even more doors, making it easy to live legally while working for a company abroad. And let's talk about affordability. Because contrary to what some might assume, Spain is not all Marbella mansions and Barcelona beachfronts. Mid-sized cities like Valencia, Granada, and Seville offer low rents. Think $700, $1,000 for a nice apartment, cheap yet fresh produce, and high-quality healthcare that costs a fraction of what it would in the US or UK. You can literally have wine cheaper than water, and nobody complains. Safety? Spain consistently ranks among the safest countries in Europe. The crime rate is low, the people are welcoming, and even in big cities, walking alone at night feels surprisingly secure. Add in reliable public transport, fast internet, and weather that makes you forget what winter feels like, and you've got a country built for long-term happiness. For single expats, Spain is also a social paradise. There's a natural friendliness that makes it easy to meet people, whether it's chatting with locals over churros, joining a language exchange, or dancing your way through a summer festival. Spaniards know how to live well, and they don't keep the secret to themselves. Spain isn't about chasing opportunity, it's about embracing quality of life. It's where you come to work less, live more, and finally understand why Europeans never seem to age badly. Spain, where the hardest part of relocation isn't paperwork. It's deciding which beach, plaza, or cafe you'll call home. Number 6. Panama. For single people looking to relocate somewhere affordable, stable, and easy to settle into, Panama practically rolls out the red carpet. It's like the country looked at the expat wish list: safety, sunshine, modern amenities, and low bureaucracy, and said, "See, we've got that covered." The beauty of Panama lies in its balance. You get tropical beaches on both coasts, modern city life in Panama City, and mountain hideaways like Boquete, where you can sip world-class coffee while planning your next adventure. And thanks to the US dollar being the official currency, you can leave your currency converter at home. Panama's residency options are also famously friendly. The Friendly Nations Visa, designed specifically for foreigners from over 50 countries, makes it easy to gain residency with a modest financial investment or proof of stable income. You can transition from tourist to resident faster than it takes most people to renew a passport. And after 5 years, citizenship is on the table, complete with visa-free access to over 140 countries. Cost-wise, Panama hits that sweet spot. Affordable, but not cheap in quality. A single person can live comfortably on $1,500 to $2,000 a month, with rent for a nice apartment starting around $600 outside Panama City. Healthcare? Top-notch and reasonably priced. Infrastructure? Strong. This is Central America's banking and logistics hub after all. You get first-world comfort without the first-world price tag. Culturally, Panama is welcoming without being intrusive. Locals are friendly but laid back, and the expat community is large enough that you'll never feel out of place. Unless you forget to say buenos dias before asking for something, that's a local faux pas you'll only make once. And let's not forget, no property tax on new homes for 20 years. Yes, you read that right. You can buy a condo with a sea view, watch ships glide through the canal, and not send a dime to the taxman for 2 decades. Panama has the stability of a major economy, the charm of Latin America, and the ease of relocation that makes it perfect for singles who want a change of scenery without sacrificing comfort or opportunity. We're halfway through the countdown, and if you're still watching, thank you. If Panama sounds tempting, just wait until you hear what the top 5 countries have in store. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below about where you'd move if you could pack up tomorrow. Number 5. Costa Rica. If Costa Rica had a resume, it would probably just say, peaceful, beautiful, and doesn't need an army to prove it. This tiny Central American paradise has been winning hearts and passports for decades, thanks to its easy lifestyle, friendly locals, and a relocation process that's about as relaxed as its beaches. For single people looking to start fresh somewhere safe, affordable, and full of life, Costa Rica is that one friend who says, pura vida, and actually means it. Let's start with the vibe. Costa Rica doesn't run on stress. It runs on sunshine and slow mornings with good coffee. The country's unofficial motto, pura vida, pure life, isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a lifestyle. Locals live longer, smile more, and somehow manage to make time for both work and a 2-hour lunch. If you're tired of cities where everyone's rushing, but no one's really going anywhere, Costa Rica is the reset button you didn't know you needed. Now, for the practical stuff. Costa Rica offers several straightforward visa and residency options. The Rentista visa lets you stay if you can show a steady income, around $2,500 a month for 2 years, while the Pensionado program is perfect if you have retirement income. Both come with access to Costa Rica's excellent healthcare system, ranked among the best in Latin America, and the ability to apply for permanent residency after just 3 years. Affordability is another major win. You can live comfortably on $1,800 to $2,200 a month, especially outside San Jose. Smaller towns like Atenas, Grecia, or Tamarindo offer modern amenities, fast Wi-Fi, and affordable rentals surrounded by mountains, rainforests, or beaches. Pick your backdrop. Even utilities stay low thanks to the country's heavy reliance on renewable energy. Over 98% of its power comes from clean sources. Safety? Costa Rica consistently ranks as one of the most peaceful nations in the world, literally, since it abolished its military back in 1948. Instead, the government invests in education, healthcare, and environmental protection. That's part of why expats, especially singles, feel secure here, both physically and financially. And let's not overlook the social side. Costa Ricans, or Ticos, are warm, inclusive, and always up for conversation, especially if you're willing to try your Spanish. The expat community is large but not cliquey, so whether you're looking for new friends, a hiking buddy, or even a new flame, there's a good chance you'll find your people. Costa Rica doesn't just make it easy to move, it makes it easy to belong. It's not about chasing wealth or status here. It's about rediscovering what matters. Fresh air, friendly faces, and a slower, happier rhythm of life. Costa Rica, where the hardest decision you'll make is whether to live by the beach, the jungle, or both. Number 4. Malaysia. If countries had personalities, Malaysia would be that cool, underrated friend who quietly has everything going for them but doesn't brag about it. Safe, modern, affordable, and wildly diverse, Malaysia somehow balances skyscrapers and rainforests, luxury malls and street food stalls, and does it all without breaking your budget or your patience. For single people looking to relocate, it's one of the easiest places on earth to start a new life, with comfort and convenience already baked in. Let's start with what makes Malaysia shine: affordability with quality. You can live comfortably, really comfortably, on $1,200 to $1,800 a month depending on your city and lifestyle. Rents are low, groceries are cheap, and dining out is practically an art form. In Kuala Lumpur, you can eat Michelin-level food from a hawker stall for under $3 or splurge at a 5-star rooftop bar without feeling guilty about it the next morning. The infrastructure is top-notch too. Malaysia's cities have reliable internet, clean public transport, and modern healthcare that ranks among the best in Asia. The hospitals in Kuala Lumpur and Penang are so good that medical tourism is a major industry. People actually fly to Malaysia to save money and get quality care. For a single expat, that means less stress, more security, and a much lower cost of living than most Western countries. The Malaysia My Second Home MM2H program also makes relocation ridiculously easy. It's a long-term visa designed for foreigners who want to live in Malaysia semi-permanently. While the requirements have shifted over time, the process remains simpler than most other Asian destinations. Plus, the country welcomes diversity. English is widely spoken, the culture is open, and you can blend in seamlessly whether you're from Europe, Africa, or the Americas. What really sets Malaysia apart, though, is its cultural mix. Malays, Chinese, Indians, and expats from around the world coexist in a vibrant blend of traditions, food, and festivals. It's a place where you can celebrate Chinese New Year, eat Indian curry for lunch, and end the day with Malay satay by the sea. That global flavor makes it especially welcoming for singles. It's easy to meet people, make connections, and build a social life that feels both local and international. And let's not forget the geography. From the skyscrapers of Kuala Lumpur to the beaches of Langkawi and the jungles of Borneo, Malaysia offers everything an adventurer or a digital nomad could want. Want island life on weekdays and city lights on weekends? Here, that's not a fantasy. It's a bus ride away. Malaysia isn't trying to be flashy. It's just quietly efficient, beautifully diverse, and refreshingly livable. For single people ready to trade chaos for calm but not boredom, this country hits all the right notes. Number 3. Georgia. If ease of relocation were a sport, Georgia would take home the gold, and then invite you over for wine to celebrate. This small country tucked between Europe and Asia isn't just beautiful, it's shockingly easy to move to, incredibly safe, and one of the most affordable places on the planet to live well. For single people looking to relocate without the red tape, Georgia is like that friend who says, "Don't worry about it, you're already family." Let's start with what sets Georgia apart. No visa hassles. Citizens of over 90 countries, including the US, Canada, and most of Europe, can stay in Georgia for up to a full year visa-free. That's right. No stacks of paperwork, no embassy visits, and no please hold phone calls. You can literally show up, settle in, and start your new life over a cup of strong Georgian coffee. The capital city, Tbilisi, is the heart of it all, a mix of old-world charm and new-world energy. The cobbled streets, colorful balconies, and hilltop views feel straight out of a storybook, while co-working spaces, craft coffee shops, and lively bars buzz with young professionals from around the world. It's become a hub for digital nomads and entrepreneurs who want to work remotely in a place that feels both ancient and fresh. Then there's the cost of living, which feels like a typo compared to Western standards. A single person can live comfortably on about $1,000 a month. Rent, dining out, and all. And we're not talking about scraping by. We're talking about renting a stylish apartment, eating organic food, and having enough left for weekend getaways. You can get a hearty Georgian feast with wine for less than the cost of a fast food meal back home, and you'll never want to go back to fast food again. Safety is another major win. Georgia consistently ranks as one of the safest countries in Europe, even for solo travelers. Locals are famously warm and protective of guests. Hospitality here is practically a national sport. Walk into any small restaurant and you might be greeted with a toast, a story, and more khachapuri, cheese bread, than you can handle. The country also welcomes entrepreneurs and freelancers with open arms. Setting up a business takes less than a day, yes, one day. And taxes for small enterprises can be as low as 1%. For singles looking to work remotely or start something new, Georgia is an unexpected but perfect base. Beyond the city, you've got mountains that rival the Alps, Black Sea beaches, ancient monasteries, and villages where time seems to have politely stopped. Whether you're hiking in Svaneti, skiing in Godavari, or soaking in natural hot springs, Georgia delivers a kind of peaceful freedom that's hard to find elsewhere. Georgia doesn't just make relocation easy. It makes it meaningful. You come for the cost and convenience, but stay for the connection, the food, and the feeling that you've stumbled into something rare. Number 2. Vietnam. Vietnam is one of those countries that doesn't try too hard to impress. It just does. Affordable, safe, vibrant, and buzzing with opportunity, it's become one of Asia's most popular destinations for singles looking to start fresh, work remotely, or just live life on their own terms. It's the kind of place where you can build a career, learn a new culture, and still afford to eat out every night. Because let's be honest, once you taste Vietnamese food, cooking at home starts to feel like an unnecessary sport. The cost of living here is almost comically low compared to Western standards. A single person can live comfortably on $800 to $1,200 a month, and that includes dining out daily, renting a modern apartment, and probably getting weekly massages because, why not? Cities like Da Nang, Hoi An, and Nha Trang combine beachside serenity with urban energy, while Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City pulse with the kind of chaos that somehow works. It's noisy, fast, and full of life. And that's exactly what makes it so addictive. Vietnam's economic growth is nothing short of impressive. The country's GDP has been rising steadily for years, driven by manufacturing, tech, and a booming digital economy. For singles looking for work or entrepreneurial opportunities, Vietnam is fertile ground, especially for teachers, freelancers, and remote workers. Internet speeds are excellent, co-working spaces are everywhere, and the local expat scene is thriving. You'll find yourself surrounded by other ambitious people who traded 9-to-5 monotony for adventure and balance. Visas are refreshingly straightforward too. Vietnam offers multiple options, from the easy-to-get tourist visa to long-term business and retirement visas, all at a fraction of what you'd pay elsewhere. And once you're in, the country's hospitality makes you feel like you've been adopted. Locals are friendly, respectful, and genuinely curious about foreigners, especially those who make an effort to learn a little Vietnamese. A simple xin chào goes a long way here. Then there's the lifestyle, that perfect mix of structure and spontaneity. Mornings start with strong coffee. Seriously, Vietnamese coffee could wake the dead. Afternoons hum with motorbikes and street vendors, and evenings slow down with lakeside walks or rooftop beers that cost less than a bottle of water back home. It's a life that feels rich, even when your budget doesn't. Safety is another big win. Despite its fast pace, Vietnam remains one of the safest countries in Southeast Asia, even for solo travelers. Crime rates are low and communities are tight-knit. You're far more likely to get lost in a night market than get into any real trouble. For single people craving independence, connection, and affordability, Vietnam hits the sweet spot. It's modern but grounded, foreign but familiar, and always full of life. You don't just live here, you thrive here, one bowl of pho at a time. Number 1. Indonesia. Indonesia isn't just a country. It's an entire universe of islands, opportunities, and possibilities. With over 17,000 islands to choose from, it's almost like nature and culture decided to collaborate on the ultimate relocation package. For single people looking for a mix of affordability, safety, and life that feels perpetually in high definition, Indonesia is as close to perfect as it gets. Let's start with the lifestyle. Indonesia manages to blend ancient temples, bustling cities, and pristine beaches into one seamless rhythm. Bali, the country's unofficial expat capital, has become the global headquarters for remote workers, entrepreneurs, and free spirits. You'll find laptop-toting creatives sipping iced lattes in Ubud one moment and surfers chasing sunsets in Canggu the next. It's social, inclusive, and full of people just like you. Starting over, trying something new, or building a business with the ocean as their backdrop. Cost of living? Still one of the lowest for the quality of life you get. A single person can live extremely well on $1,200 to $1,800 per month. That includes rent, food, entertainment, and perhaps a few too many coconuts. Rent a villa with a pool for less than a cramped apartment back home, or enjoy meals at beachside cafes where dinner costs less than your morning coffee from a Western chain. Safety is another strong point. Despite its size and diversity, Indonesia remains one of the safest and most welcoming countries in Asia. Locals are warm, friendly, and famously tolerant of newcomers. English is widely spoken in major cities and expat zones, and the sense of community is genuine, especially for singles looking to connect and build a social circle quickly. From a visa standpoint, Indonesia is refreshingly accommodating. The second home visa and digital nomad visa options make it easy to stay long-term if you meet modest financial requirements. Even standard tourist visas are simple to extend, allowing plenty of time to explore and decide where you want to settle. Then, there's the sheer variety. If Bali's bohemian energy isn't your vibe, try Yogyakarta for culture, Jakarta for business, or Lombok for peace and quiet. Indonesia isn't a one-size-fits-all destination. It's a choose-your-own adventure, with each island offering its own personality and pace. And while some countries make relocation feel like bureaucracy boot camp, Indonesia keeps it human. The locals genuinely want you there, not as a tourist passing through, but as part of a thriving, evolving community that values diversity, innovation, and connection. In the end, Indonesia gives single people what so many are chasing: freedom, affordability, purpose, and beauty, all in one breathtaking package. And that brings us to the end of our countdown, the top 10 easiest countries for single people to relocate to. Safe, affordable, and full of opportunity. Whether you're chasing adventure, a career reboot, or just a simpler life, these countries prove that starting over doesn't have to be hard. It just has to be intentional. If you enjoyed this list and found it helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who's ready for a new chapter. Until next time, live simply, explore boldly, and never stop chasing the life you deserve.